So how good is this for an introduction? Asking men to expose their weaknesses is like asking water to run uphill. I think a lot of us can really agree with that. And it is not a particularly good thing, because exposing our feelings is what makes us human, and what gives us connection, and what makes our relationships and the rest of our life more successful. Now, I want to be very clear. I'm not saying go and cry on every street corner. Don't go and cry when you're at a loss because you didn't get the promotion. I am saying that there's a safe place in which you can share your feelings. But if you are not even willing to open that door, where are we going to start? So this whole conversation is because of a really interesting note that I received. Cat's paw alarm have caught me again. And it does every week. Okay, so this is what I received. Okay, so I'm sure that a lot of people can relate to this. Men's strength is the very fabric upon which they plant their feet. Their function is to be strong, and if they can't be strong, they pretend to be strong. For most of our evolutionary history, our very existence depended on this quality. Relationships were of little importance when viewed against existential annihilation. Oh my word, second language. English is not doing very well tonight with this one. So here's the thing. We need, in this world now, we need to be adaptable. The entire world has changed over the last 100 years. And women had to learn how to step up and blend into managerial positions. Now, never mind that, to go into a workplace, leave the kitchens behind, leave the nurturing job at home behind, and go and be seen and heard and use their male energy, because we all have a softer side and a more male energy, all of us, and men also have got a softer side to them that is there anytime to access if we want to. But we haven't had to do much of it. Not to the extent that we have to do it now. And in our current world, we cannot go back to hunting tigers and surviving on our survival skills. We have to learn to survive and thrive because of our emotional skills. And we are all just going to have to adapt to it, because this is the world in which we live. So we can never undo this thing where women has been emancipated, women has a voice, women has a right to vote, women can drive their own cars, and they can get amazing degrees and be prime ministers and make real change in the world. So how do you step back to that? So we all have to adjust back to some sort of balance. And just as women have to learn to not only trust their male side in the boardroom and use that exclusively and be hard-ass and not tune into their feminine side, just the same. And also when go back home and don't be the manager at home. Go be a wife at home. Just that same way, men have to learn that it is time that our survival does not depend on hunting tigers. It is time that we start healing the wounds of generations after generations after generations that we have been keeping inside of us. The harsh father, the judgmental mother, the mother that clinging to us and not allowing us to grow up. The criticism, the parent that died, the parent who just left his family and left us feeling abandoned, the war, the going to boarding school too early, the many, many small hurts, the bullying, the calling of names, the hard circumstances, the wars, being abused, all of those things, and the small injustices, the ones that we thought we could get through, having problems like being dyslexic or having ADD or not having anybody on your side, feeling like you're alone in the world, having had to grow up way too early, all of those things, which happens to all of us all the time, male and female, they leave their wounds on us. We have to stop the cycle. We do not need to let our children and our children's children carry on with this. It is time for us to say enough. And we can only do that when we allow ourselves to start allowing these feelings into our lives. Because if we don't do that, we can't process the traumas and the hurts. We cannot. It's impossible. Okay, so this is a really important subject. And I mean, thank you. Thank you for the guy who sent me that message, because it is so needed to have this conversation. We are not living in the same world as our ancestors. We need new skills. And when we have these new skills, we address generational distress. Just because your father was harsh, you don't need to be harsh. Just because your mother was critical, you don't need to. Just because nobody believed in you, you don't need to not believe in yourself. You can heal, and the people around you will heal, and you will attract better people to you. And the people who come after you, they will do better. But it starts with us. It starts with us right here. So I want to encourage you to become open to the idea that there's more. Okay, so I'm going to remind all of you that I am having a men's summit. I'm hosting it from the 6th to the 9th of September. It will be in the emails that you are getting. You don't have to sign up for anything if you're on my list already. If you're not on my list already, go and check. You can check on Facebook under my profile picture, and you can just sign up there. There's a form. Otherwise, send me a private message. Whichever way, you can leave a comment somewhere, and I will give you the link to sign up. And it is so important that we start having these conversations and we become willing to do things differently. Because if we look at the mess that the world is in and the mess that people have been making of it and inflicting on humans for such a long time, we have to try and find the healing place, the healing start. And there's only one place to start, I promise you. It's right inside yourself. Feelings don't kill you. What kills us is refusing to feel them and squishing them away. Feelings don't break relationships. It's refusing to feel them that breaks relationships. You don't get lonely and pushed away because you suddenly have feelings. You've always had feelings. You may not want to acknowledge them, but you've always had them. And even if you can only express a small array of them, you've always had them. But what gets you pushed away is when you're not willing to do the work that heals you. And that I promise you for sure. If you are not willing to do the work that heals you, it turns into a mess. You end up lonely, and you end up baffled, and you cannot understand how on earth it happened. We all have to start with being willing to heal the wounds inside ourselves. And therefore, we have to accept that we have feelings and that it is okay. And yes, sometimes if the wounds are deep, you need expert help. Therefore, please make sure you sign up for the Men's Summit. That's a great place to start, I promise you. And come with your notebook. You're going to watch and rewatch and take notes. It is awesome. Okay, so much love to you. I think I've kept it nice and short and tidy. And see you next week for another short and sweet seeds. Tiny seeds, grow your big roots. Lots of love to all of you.